Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, Arcfault Day, Patch 81. Flashpoint Strange New World Part 2. Yay! Get right into it. I'm not going to read this whole setup thing. Questions. Oh, look, here's Hamster in a video, not Beck. That's weird. What is Beck doing the preview stuff and Hamster's doing the launch day videos? Weird. It's interesting that he's like sideways in this video. Nope, don't really understand that, but it's fine. Whatever. Alright, a little bit of the table of contents on what we expect to be a feature here. New missions. Hey, alright. Syrian Squall. Right. New officers. Epic Transigen. Yay! New currency to go after. Woohoo! I feel like they combined the NSCA Protector and the Isogen Loop into one thing. It's awesome. New ship loop efficiency. So that's kind of cool. Of course, only if you have the new ship, really. New active comps and more. Yeah, new core missions. Hopefully they work this time. Yeah. They're having problems getting them to work. Of course, at the same time, they were like, oh, you gotta finish stage 4 of the RMS, and then they removed stage 4. That's funny. Alright, let's talk about the Syrian Squall. Epic G3 survey ship. Available at Shipyard 30. Be upgraded through 18 tiers. The tier run already excels at Galaxy's premier combat miner for Epic Transigen and Epic Suliban Chaser hostiles. So now there's Epic Chaser hostiles. That's cool. As you advance the ship, its combat prowess extends to battling uncommon and rare Suliban Chasers, while also serving as a versatile miner for common, uncommon, and rare transigen resources. You can collect 2 Syrian Squall blueprints per day by exchanging uncommon refined transigen in a transigen refinery, which is nice because that's a little bit easier to get. And to a certain extent, there's less to get with the uncommon transigen, so you got spares. Excuse me. Alright, I don't really like the structure of this because I feel you can't title this whole section active ship ability and then talk about the automated defenses and then to go to passives, like passive ship abilities. Just remove the active and put IES in here instead of Y, but it's fine, whatever. I'm being nitpicky OCD stupidness, but it's fine. So what does this mining ship do? Well, it has automated defenses, so it's somewhat good for hostile combat. It is available at Tier 1, grants combat bonus versus Suliban hostiles while you're mining. And yes, you have to hit the button and then mine, or you have to get on the node and then hit the button. It's one of those, but again, you have to hit the button. Otherwise, they'll just kill you. Passive abilities, Transigen Hall greatly increases Epic Raw Transigen mining rate. Black Flag increases loot from Suliban hostiles in transigen systems. Unique feature, Tempest immunity. That is what they were calling the specific hazard for this loop. Remember, hazards actually come in more than one form. There is a base hazard damage, and then, at least previously before this arc, they had certain ones that were almost more specific to a faction, say radiation for a hazard. And then there was the asteroid fields and ion storm. So there's really 4 types of almost said transition. 4 types of hazards, and then with the Tempest hazard, which is what they're calling it for the Flashpoint bullshit or whatever the hell you want to call this dumb loop transigen shit, would added a 5th type of hazard, which is awesome. But Tempest immunity. So you can survive the hazard zones where Epic Transigen spawns. Now, it's really high. You could think it very similar. Oh, I guess I forgot about the other type of hazard, the whatever mines that were there in the Mirror Universe. Because it's a lot like that. It's very high. Now, were you able to get a ship in there in that Mirror Universe system? Yeah. Yeah, you could, technically. You could get a ship in that mirror universe system and maybe, kill one hostile. Well, excuse me. They're looking at a announcement that may or may not be something you should even try to do with this new system, because supposedly Epic refinery claim was going to be available for everybody, but they may be changing that. Or it sounds like they actually already did, because you go into the refinery and the Epic Transition claim isn't there. It only supposedly unlocks now when you get the ship. So no more of us going into these new hazard systems and getting some OPC. Because, yeah, you could do that before the way it was designed. I was listening to DJ's show when he was talking about the preview. It was like, yeah, especially with this hazard, this transigen hazard, only doing damage every 20 seconds instead of 5. You had 5 seconds. You could get in there and you could do something. You only had 5 seconds. Now you had 20 seconds. So you could get in there. You could do something. You could get some OPC. Doesn't look like that's going to matter anymore, because you're going to get the loot, and then what are you going to do with it? Apparently nothing, because they removed the shit from the refinery. Unless you have the ship, which is awesome. Whatever. Oh, other unique features. High protected cargo, mine learning, yeah. And then a jump drive, which I appreciate, because who wants to sit there and, watch your ship warp to all these systems? So I appreciate more of these ships getting a jump drive. And yes, there are claims in the transition refinery to get jump drives for some of your other ships, which is fantastic. The only problem I have with it is just a year and a half ago when the Gorn Eviscerator came out, it's like, oh, they're making the Discovery obsolete. Wonderful. Now, this makes the Gorn Eviscerator obsolete. Kind of. Though, to be fair, maybe the Gorn Eviscerator won't completely become obsolete, because you can allow your teammates to go through the Gorn hole, or whatever you want to call it. So maybe it's okay. Maybe. I'm going to just have to see. It'll be a while before I get any of this shit, so it is very hard to tell whether it's worth anything or not. That's kind of the shitty thing. It's, you buy it now and maybe you can use it for a year, but if you wait 4 months and then another 4 months to get it up to your level, and in a few more months it's obsolete. That's, yay. Very disappointing. Talk about the research tree. Oh, warp range. Extend the Saturn Squall base warp distance. I still don't get that. Why is this a thing for researchers? Just give the ship a higher warp range. Why do I have to do another research? Just give me the warp range when I put the warp component on there. Maybe it's really level locked, and they only think, oh, a level 50 should get an extra 100 warp range, when only a level 60 should get an extra 200 warp range. Screw everybody else, I guess, huh? Whatever. That's fine. Jump drive. This is also a research. It unlocks the point-to-point travel. That's what it does. Sure, that's fine. Research. Common, uncommon, and rare transited mining rate. Again, watching DJ's show, because he has some of that insider information. He's been in some of those group discussions with the people running this stuff. Supposedly, this wasn't going to be in here. Like, this dumbass mining ship was not going to do any more mining rate to the other transigens. It was just going to be able to mine the epic shit. I'm not sure why they thought that was a good idea. But I'm glad they listened and put in the common, uncommon, and the rare speeds. Automated defense bonus. Increased critical chance while the ASA is active. 18 levels each gated by tier. So I'm assuming the rest of these researchers are not gated by tier, but maybe gated by ops level. Because these last 3 specifically say gated by ship tier. Apex barrier against Suliban hostiles. Okay, cool. Again, gated by each tier. Does kind of seem weird that they didn't. Why is it just not a ship ability? excuse me, just increase the shipability. Whatever. Make me do an extra button click or two. That's fine, and justify why you're giving this thing research currency. I mean, whatever, man. Just, however, isolated damage boost versus Suliban hostiles, again gated by each tier. Yay! Mining integration. I'm very torn about this. And this is a new research, again, in the research tree. I like the idea. I just don't think it's going to work as well as, let's say, Swarm Sweeps did when you went after the freebooters. Now, what happened there is, okay, you could go into a freebooter system, kill a bunch of, not the Swarm Sweeps. Swarm Sweeps, yes, but then also Federation, Rumble, and Klingon Sweeps. You could kill a freebooter hostile, and it gives you credit for your hostile dailies. Some of the issue from that was you weren't getting as much rep. Now, with certain syndicate levels, you got extra reward from those daily goals, right? That's what we call them, daily goals, daily tasks. You would get a higher amount of reputation. For me, I get a little more than 500 million reputation from my hostile dailies, and I get a little less than 500 million from the the reputation daily that you got to activate each day, that you get the points for spending Parsteel and Titanium. I can't think about what the hell that's called right now. So for me, I get about 1 billion a day. So that takes care of that. I don't really need more than 1 billion a day. In a month, I'll be able to build the level 70 ships. That's assuming I don't go any faster with killing hostiles or whatever. And then the ship parts, well, the freebooters dropped the ship parts. So that was all the benefits from that. They were all taken care of. Not even just the tasks, but the rewards themselves. The loot and the reputation. Now, with the mining sweeps, yes, okay, mining transition means, you no longer have to mine ore crystal gas for your dailies. That's nice, but at the same time, you're not getting enough to fuel the refinery. Or you're getting enough to fuel the refinery for one claim. Or one chest, which is or isn't enough depending on who you are as a player. So, while the faction sweeps for freebooters really remove the necessity to kill faction hostiles, I don't know that this does the same thing. This doesn't remove the necessity to mine ore, crystal, or gas, in my opinion. It does remove the necessity to specifically go out there and do that daily. But I think you're still going to want to mine this shit. Because otherwise you just won't have enough for bonus refineries or your daily claims. So I'm not sure I really care. But we'll see when, I get this. If I forget it, you think about how long it takes to get some of this shit, and it's wow, man, is the game even going to survive that long? But however, FKR mining rate bonuses, faster mining with Franklin Delano Roosevelt survey ships. Just say faction shit is weird. And damage bonus, more punch with all the vessels. Okay, cool. Alright, so they're going to remove my need to do the daily, but they're going to increase my mining speeds. Okay, I mean, that's cool. We'll see if it's enough. Because sometimes some of these researchers really don't improve mining speeds by that much. But we'll have to see. Alright, talking about the Epic Transition Hazard Zone. Navigate to new transition space. Sector packed with the Epic Transition nodes. Certain squad built-in defense for the hazard. Automated defense. Without a suitable amount of hostiles will greatly affect your ship's hull. Profit as Certain squad extracts transition and fends off attackers simultaneously. Okay, I feel like we said that already. Epic Transition Refinery. The refinery is your one-stop shop for converting mine spoils into resources, parts, and collectibles. That power late game progression. Costs and payouts automatically scale with your Sand Squall tier, so the deeper you invest, the bigger the hole. Raw and the refined epic transigen feed raw transigen straight into the refinery for refined currency. Epic hostile loot exchange swap Silverone drops for extra bursts of refined epic transigen and bonus rewards. Weird how they're explaining how a refinery works. Alright, some of the rewards for this epic bullshit. The strong box, tier up scaled speed ups, Sand Squall parts, black market schematics, uncommon and rare refined transigen. Rare tier unlocks at tier 5. Transigen forged dust for high-end upgrades. They've added a few more things that you can get with that dust. Artifact choice tokens. Chance to pull uncommon rare tokens with every spin, guaranteed from Sand Squall tier claims. Chapel shards, that is the new Black Ops chapel. I'll show you in a minute because she's in here. Unlockable when you get Sand Squall to tier 10. So that's going to be a while for some of us. Some of you guys are going to go buy the ship right now. I'm sorry. I feel that I was really let down with the Mantis and the Defiant, and I'm just not going to buy ships anymore. Not going to do it. Ship loop efficiency. Going Eviscerator. Is this something other than the exocomps that were out there? The NSCA and the Marine Reserve was all there. I wonder if that's something different because they've also added Revenant, Silent Hostiles, Zindi Scrap, Relativity, and Borcube was already in there. So I wonder if it's different than the exocomps that were already in there. Interesting. Epic artifacts that are going into that refinery now. NRX's datapad, data mask, con necklace, con glove, con wrist communicator, Kira shard, Janeway pocket watch, classic tricorder, Emperor Georgios crown, Crenum time weapon, strand of Crenum hair, the Star Dispatch, Section 31 beacon, and Emperor ceremonial uniform. Alright, cool. So that's nice. More sourcing for some of these. Very hard to source artifacts. Almost forgot what they're called for. Excuse me. Epic exocomp programs here. So these are the exocomps. What the hell was this actually? Yeah, I don't understand what this is. As an epic transigen reward, they put the ship efficiency shit in here, but then they come down here and they're adding some of the exocomps. That's confusing. Relativity Vindicator getting added to those exocomps that were already there. I feel like they had all the ships that were prior to the Vindicator in there. Except not Revenant. Yeah, Revenant wasn't in there, and they skipped the Revenant here. Revenant should have been in there. NSCA Protector Research. That's cool, because I'm still not done with that shit, even though I barely care. Because it just takes so long, and after a year, it's not as good anymore. Increased building speed. Apex barrier boost in PvE, PvP, PvP, PvE. Let's open that. New tab there. Artifact choice tokens guaranteed from Sand Squall tier claims and rare drops from the Strongbox. These tokens let you claim 10 to 20 times the normal shard count for the uncommon and rare artifacts of your choice. Okay, cool. Alright, before we get into officers, let's come take a little bit more look at the ship and its refinery. Went through all that already. Here's more different layout for the abilities. Again, the automated defenses for the Suliban chasers, you're going to have to hit the button. Dedicated research. There was something here, the chart. Okay, this should be the chart of where you get, of when you can get some of these rare transigens and the speed ups and I'm not sure I completely understood. So this is the Strongbox content, and it's telling you title here is G3, so is that dependent on the player? Is that what that is? It's player dependent? It says G3 and you only get 1 through 4. Tier 1 through 4. But Then you come down to G4, and then it's 1 through 9. So it's got to be dependent on the player. Because if they're saying these are G3 rewards, tier 1 through 4, well then this one would start at 5. So it's got to be based on the player. Right? Of course, why are you giving G4 players higher parts? Is that what you're planning to do? I mean, that would be I benefit people like me. I can get it up to my level faster. I'm hoping that that's exactly what this means, but who the hell really knows? I mean, I'm looking at this and okay, these are the strong box contents, but why are there 4 different charts? It's somewhat confusing. Cool, you come in and look at all this stuff, try to see what you get, put all this information out there because they want you to buy the ship. They want you to say, oh, look here, you get all this cool stuff. Epic Transigen Refinery. This is how many Epic Transigens you're going to get from each tier. Cool. Very low numbers, but I mean, you know, when you get up here, it's like 113. It's like, oh, that's cool. The Hostile Refinery, you get more Epic Transigen. Yeah, make those claims and such. That's cool. I'm not sure what the difference between going in and claiming the artifacts like you got here and then these artifact choice tokens. It's almost like they're adding way too many claims just to make it seem like, or actually give you more stuff. It's like, why are there so many claims? Though at the same time, it's in a refinery, there's bulk refined, so it's probably not taking up too much of your time, which would be a good thing. Alright, 2 new officers this month, and yeah, neither of them have a captain ability, which I'm really starting to hate. Because then who's the captain for some of these stupid ass groups? No, so you don't have a captain. Okay, that's great. And it really hurts the uncommon ships. Like the 26 ships, the 28 ships, the 42 ships, the 53 ships, the 63 ships, because they all have less under deck slots than the rares or the epics. So, that's why I say now I really do believe you can skip all the uncommon ships. Maybe real early G3, get to 26 ships because you're going to end up scrapping them at 34. But because so much of power or so much of your combat effectiveness is coming from your below deck abilities, in which there is a metric fuck ton of those, you really need lower deck slots. The uncommons just ain't got it. They really need to start making more captain abilities. Alright, so Black Ops Mbenga, his officer ability, increase isolated defense versus Flashpoint Flashpoint hostiles and invading entities. And I like how they change it up here and they actually telling you the values for each tier. I feel like we were at a point where they weren't doing that. They were showing you the base and then a max, and it's like, okay, well, where is it going in between? Starts at 150%, then 250, 350, 500, and 800%. That's a lot. That's a good number. Not sure how you could line up some of these crews. I mean, maybe... Well, I mean, it's something... He's going to be... Shit, what's the groups? Because there's the engineer, and then there's the medical people, right? I think so. One's the egg shape, one's a pigtail. What are the engineers are the pigtails? And like the medics and the science officers are the eggs, right? No? Yeah. So could you do Strange New World James Kirk with Pring, and then who you picking as the third? Well, here you go. If you're doing flashpoints, bam, more isolated defense. I mean, that could work. Below deck ability restores 2, 3, 5, 7, 10% shield health each round. Okay. I mean, that's useful. And this is against hostiles. All hostiles. So, my favorite hostile captain is Janeway. Well, some of you out there have expressed that your shields just don't hold up. Can't remember who it was, but you said you had a Sanctus, which makes sense. I mean, Romulan interceptors, Klingon interceptors, and then Romulan battleships, maybe even some Klingon battleships. They're just not going to have high shields. Especially Romulan, maybe Klingon interceptors are okay. So maybe it's Romulan interceptors, Romulan battleships, and Klingon battleships. Certain factions kind of focus certain different areas. I feel like, the Federation are more shield orientated. Romulans are more hull orientated. And I think Klingons are about a bit of a little more neutral. But then you go to the ship types. Explorers are more shield orientated. Battleships more hull, and interceptors a little bit more of a balance. So certain factions, Janeway's just not going to be good because you're going to take so much damage to your shields that they're just going to go down so quick. Well, instead of putting the other Mbenga on your bridge, you put this Mbenga below deck if you got the slots. But this could bring Janeway back into play for a lot of you, and also Wrath of Khan Carol. Bring her into play for a lot of you, and that can greatly benefit your hostile grinding, because you're doing shield damage and the shields repair at the end of the battle. And also now, if you got Mbenga, each round. How about that? Alright, Black Ops Chapel. Again, no captain ability, officer ability, positive rep gain for Federation Klingon Romulan hostiles. 75, 125, 200, 275, 450. Nice. That sounds like really nice numbers. I don't know if I really need it anymore. That's fine. If you really think you need it, here you go. And below deck, increase hull health. 100, 150, 200, 300, and 500%. Yeah, and of course, she's the one that you get once you get the Siren Squall up to tier 10. Yay. Maybe it's just me. I don't care. Again, as I mentioned, just from claiming my dailies, actually, from claiming the reputation event, we'll call it a reputation event, and the hostile dailies, I didn't even mention the mining dailies, because that's another 500 million. So technically, I can get 1.5 billion even before factoring my hostile kills. I get 1.5 billion a day. Look, I've never really had a problem with repping up. I really haven't. If anything, I have a problem with repping up too fast. So, y'all got to be really careful. I know some of y'all really want to rep up real fast or whatever, but you got to be careful, because at certain spots, it's going to change the dailies and they're going to be much harder to do. But I mean, you like what you like and you want what you want, but I don't think this officer is really that good. I mean, I feel like maybe I could be okay with the officer ability, but then the below deck ability, that's not that much. I'm already getting an extra, I don't know, I mean, I've lost count by now. How much extra hold you got from all these researches? Look, maybe if you're a level 30 or 35 or something, maybe you don't have that many researchers. But me, I swear, I got to be up to like 20,000. Another 500% just doesn't seem like it's going to do anything to me. I'm probably even higher than 20,000. I don't know. I mean, I'm knocking out those relativity researchers. They're like 1,500 a pop. Or I guess one shield, one's hull. I mean, it's whatever, man. I mean, however, I would have liked something a little different, but it's fine. Alright, additional content, Battle Pass. Already got refits for the Siren Squall, Orion Skin, plus 50 base hazard resistance. Okay. Plus 200% protected cargo. I don't know why that's necessary. You said higher up that it has really high protected cargo, so why do I need more protected cargo? I wonder if it's really not that high. 30% more to Strongbox payouts, and it makes the ship look like an Orion Marauder. Yeah, alright, cool. And then there's also field repair. You can get 25% haul back, which that is very useful if you're sitting on an epic transiting node for a long time. Can killing the hostiles, because eventually you're going to lose your hull, so this could allow you to stay out there a little longer. That's nice. Epic Artifact Editions, Data's Mask, Con Necklace, Glove, Risk Communicator arrive in the Epic Artifact pool alongside classics like Anorak's Datapad and Emperor Georgiou's Crown. What's the Epic Artifact pool? Am I supposed to know what that is? I mean, is that the token box claim in the artifact section? Maybe? Mm-hmm. Epic Exocomp programs, cost efficiency, relativity, parts, vindicator, ship parts, NSCA research, Apex barrier boosts, building speeds. What? Wasn't that up here somewhere? What is that? Yeah, that was up here. I'm so confused. Okay. Yeah, I mean, new Exocomp programs for the relativity, the vindicator, and NSCA research. Apex Bay. Yeah, that was up here, and that was tied to something else, I thought. In the Epic Refined Transigen, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Sometimes I think they add in so much shit, it's really hard for them to keep track of. Because literally, you copy this spot right here, this section of the patch notes, you come down here, and you just pasted it. Why is it pasted here? Very confusing. New Exocomp programs. Not sure what that means by Exocomp programs. Now also provides specialty ship part cost efficiencies for vessels like the Vindicator and the Relativity, alongside with the existing Apex barrier boosts for both PvP and PvE. Okay. Battle Pass. Flashpoint Stranger World Part 2. There's a stand-up Battle Pass. Get you Black Ops and Benga and Chapel Shards, rare Flashpoint directives, and Transigen Forward Foundations. The Elite Pass, Epic Flashpoint directives, Officer Depot tokens, enough research just for a Prime mining unlock at milestone 20. Premium Elite unlock. Are there 3 tracks to the Battle Pass now? Well, let me turn this game on. I ended up turning this on and I'm like, are there 3 tracks to the Battle Pass now? That's weird. Okay. Commanders can also score in several brand new cosmetics throughout the month. Cool. Bug fixes. There were a few that I wanted to make sure you were aware of. There should be invading entities in the systems, the Flashpoint systems now. They did change the name of one of these guys. The joke chars are the mining Klingon from last month. He now does Epic Transigen as well. The central entity in solar waves doesn't automatically blow up now because, before you engage hostiles. Yeah, there was something that I thought was... corrected an artifact description. Spock's Ritual Gone now explicitly mentions incompatibility with Tau, which I'm pretty sure he was a PvP Apex Barrier based guy, yeah. Or Artifact, which now, it doesn't work with Tau, which is awesome. The legal tome references axionic servos and nadions. That was for the armory building and the Exocomp factory, I think. Streamlining Galaxy search feature, so maybe you can get to the keyboard faster to type it in. That's what it sounded like. There's still more, but I think it was at the end. Fit to zoom in reward visual. Enable direct claiming of away team assignments from the officer assignment menu without necessary navigation. I think that has to do with when you go into the away mission itself and sped it up. It just collected it for you automatically. You didn't also have to click that collect button, which is nice. No, it was something else. Yeah, I guess it was at the end. Improved chest claiming process and inventory by reducing the amount of clicks. Something to look into. Syndicate Oh, and then this one as well. In the syndicate tree, yeah, if you notice that your previously unlocked levels, the number was removed and you could no longer tell by just looking at it which level that was. Supposedly that has changed. Only did make that mission, they did fix that where that mission from last month for IMS, doing IMS 4, they corrected that so I can claim that reward. Yes, the levels are up there for all the syndicate. That was nice. Oh, well, I wanted to look at the battle pass. No, I didn't need to wrap this up. But I wanted to look to see, are there 3 tracks to the battle pass? No. What the hell is Premium Elite then? Oh, is that from the... Oh, is that what they're saying the chest was? Because the Premium Elite unlock is what you're buying in the store. So it's still the free track, the pay track, and this is the extra contents of the pack you buy? Okay. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's 3 tracks. I thought they were going to make 3 tracks. Whew. All right, let's wrap this shit up. Long enough video. This should have been a quicker video. It really should have been. Oh well, you know how I roll. Because I really feel like there's not that much coming in here. There's a lot of... Yeah, it's based around the ship. Now there's Epic Transigen. They added what seems to be a lot of nice things to the Epic Transigen refinery. But at the same time, it also looks like none of us will see that until we unlock the ship. So we can't even go and hunt at OPC. Which I don't really like. But that's fine. Whatever. I don't think I like it. I don't like it. Yeah. It really does seem like it's so focused on the ship that if you don't get the ship this month, none of this shit is for you. All this shit I just read, it appears get the ship or none of it's for you. You get nothing new this month unless you get the ship. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there's too much shit in here. Maybe I'm just not focusing enough because I don't like it. Yeah. So comment below. What do you think about this month? Do you like the idea of this miner? I thought it was going to be like a combat ship more than, a miner. You liking that it's a miner. But it does have some combat ability, so you can do that stuff. Does that make up for it only being a miner? Could you tell anything new this month that isn't related to the ship? So if we don't buy the ship, are we going to get anything new this month other than, events and stuff? I feel like there was nothing here for any of us. Unless you buy the ship. Disappointing. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.